What is up, guys? Today we're finally porting my mazdaspeed 6 head. Alright guys, this is my mazdaspeed 6 head that I have been porting. So if you want to look at it on my mazdaspeed 6, this is the valve cover. Now this one is blue. And as you guys can see, this is my mazdaspeed 6 and that is my red valve cover. So when you're looking at the head, of course, the head is underneath all of this stuff. The intake manifold right here is where our new one's gonna be going. So our valves are right in there. Now we're going back to our ported head. Okay, so now that we are back to the engine, that is what it looks like inside. Now normally there are cams right here and a few other things like your valves and your springs and retainers. They're normally in there, but when we're porting the head, we're talking about these guys right here. So as you can see, I've ported these already a little bit. Give you guys a little bit better lighting. So I've ported that one, number 2 and number 3. Then on the 4th one, I left that one completely stock so we can get a good idea of what's going on. Now what you want to do is you're going to want to get your OEM gasket or whatever gasket you plan on using. This is the OEM one that I'm using, and basically you're going to want to match it right up to each cylinder. You're going to want to mark each cylinder and try to mark it as best as possible to make sure you get the exact outline of your gasket, because you want to follow the size of your gasket so you can get as much flow as possible. Now what I did with this gasket is I cut off the 2 middle pieces. As you can see, the left 2 are not OEM and the right 2 are. I just cut those out because the intake manifold that I'm going to be running, that one right there, does not have any middle dividers. So since it doesn't have any middle dividers, you want to keep the middle divider on the head, but you don't want it on the gasket. Now the reason you keep the middle divider is because you'll get better drivability, and also it should get better low end torque. Now if you're going for a crazy just full race engine, sometimes it's better to cut that out, but most of the time it's best if you leave it in there, and you want to just make it a knife's edge, make it really skinny so that you can flow as much air through there as possible. As you can see, this one not so skinny, not the best for flow. Let me flip the head over and show you what's going on with the exhaust side. Alright, so as you guys can see, I've ported the 3 first runners as well on the exhaust side. Now that's what they look like. I basically wanted to just open them up as much as possible while also making them smoother. Now you can see the little black parts. The black parts are the carbon buildup from when the head was on the car. Now those black spots mean I haven't ported that spot. I'm probably going to do a light polish on each of those just to make sure that they are nice and polished up on the black spots. Now for the bowls, or where the valves are, the valve seats I guess, I went ahead and ported each one of those. I basically just went to smooth them out, as well as to also just make them a tiny bit bigger. It's kind of hard to see, but it's nothing too crazy. Just basically trying to smooth them out. Now that's what stock looks like, of course. Stock is a lot worse. So you basically are just going for a smooth job, but let's hop into porting these stock valve seats and the stock exhaust and intake ports. Into the secret room. Dun-dun-dun. All right guys, this is a final look. I think it turned out really good. Now each one of these, you want them to be literally like a knife's blade, as thin as possible, even thinner as it goes down. Now I'm gonna need to do a last minute polish just to make sure everything is really smooth, but it honestly is like really smooth as it is, and it's not gonna matter too much for a head because you just want it to be better than stock, just a little smoother, a little bit bigger, just overall a tiny bit better. Now this is my intake manifold, as you can see. Now what the intake manifold is gonna look like when it's on there, something kind of like that. It's so hard to do one-handed, as you could imagine, but something like that. Now these ports should easily make 600 horsepower if I'm on E85. Now who knows if I'm gonna run E85, but it's something worth considering. These are what the exhaust ports look like, all finished up. Of course there is a tiny bit, like I said, that needs to be polished, but really overall not bad at all. And the final one, I didn't get the top too much there, but that's what it looks like stock. Just needs to be ported a tiny bit. That one turned out the best though, and I know it's gonna work really well. Now if you guys are looking to get your own head ported and you don't want to do the work yourself, you can hit up Evolutionary Performance here in Utah. They'll probably hook you up with a nice ported head, or they can port yours for you. Now I'm not the one to be porting your head because I honestly am not a professional. I've never ported heads before. This is my first time, so I'm just kind of experimenting, seeing what I can do. But if you need it done, honestly just go to a shop. It took me like probably 30 hours at least to get this head done. I've been just cranking on it, staying up multiple nights to try to get this finished, also staying up to get this video finished for you guys. So I hope you enjoy this video, but let me know what you guys think of this ported head and the work. I'll give you guys some final pics of it on my Instagram, and I'll also have a few more videos of me installing the head when I finish my forged engine. But without further ado, I hope you guys like this video. I truly do, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.